What's going on YouTube? It's Future the Barber here, and today I'm going to show you how to do a low fade and beard with a textured top. Now, to receive the best result you can get out of a haircut, you should always shampoo the hair. Clean hair is always better than dirty hair. You don't have products, gel, sweat, dirt, or anything else getting in the way of giving a great haircut. When you're shampooing the client, you should make sure the water is warm and comfortable for the client. You don't want it to be burning or too cold. And when you're actually shampooing, you don't want to dig your nails into the head. You kind of want to just use your fingertips and massage the scalp. Before you shampoo the hair, you should use a warm water to open up the hair follicles. But when you're rinsing after you shampoo the head, you should use a cold water, not freezing cold, but a colder temperature to close up the hair follicle. Alright, so we're going to begin by setting our first guideline with our Andis Slimline Pro LIs. When doing your guideline, always remember to keep it under the occipital bone, just to help you keep the low fade effect. All the other guidelines we make today are going to have the same dropping motion on them. And remember to always have a nice clean guideline, because clean guidelines mean a clean fade. So when you're using your electric shaver, you should always go in different directions to give it a softer fade look. I'll go down, sideways, across, diagonal, and then against. It'll give you a nice transition from extra bald to stubble, and then you could transition into your fade. So our next guideline we're going to make is our half, so no guard, just clipper open. We're going to flick this out about half an inch. It's not always going to be half an inch. Each client has a different head shape, so you just have to adjust to each head shape. So to fade this line out, we're just going to be playing with our lever. I like to go closed, flick out that bottom line, then halfway flick out the middle line, and then all the way open and flick out the top line. So you can actually see here, that bottom line, I just flick it out, bring it up to the middle, flick out that middle line, and then bring it up to the top. So now we're going to put our one on, open it up, and make the next guideline. And then we're just going to come underneath that and flick out that bottom line with the one closed. If you create a line in between, just play with the lever and fade out your dark spots. Now there will be a faint line in between your half and your one closed, so you'll just put the 1/16 on, open it about halfway, and if that doesn't hit it, just close it and pick out the little line with your corners. And when you're using your corners to pick out dark spots, you should only use 2, 3, maybe even 4 teeth to pick out that dark spot. Detailing your fade is extremely important, and you should always use your corners to pick out dark spots. So now we're going to work from top to bottom, and we're going to put our number 2 on, flicking out at the parietal ridge, just so it's an easier transition into the top. So to bring those two together, we're going to put our 1.5 guard on, also the 3/16, and we're going to work that about the same way as the 1/16, just halfway, and if that doesn't hit it, just close it and flick out the bottom line. Using a flicking motion is always going to help you get a smoother transition between guards. Just because you're not digging in and creating a hard line, everything's going to come out more smooth. So when you're fading in the beard, you just do the same steps. I'll do open, fade that out with the trigger play, then I'll put the 1 open on, close it, and if there's still a little line, you could put the 1/16 on and just take that little spot out. You'll notice I'm even detailing the beard with just my corners, just because you can pick out little dark spots that you see. So we're going to get the top a little damp. We're not going to get it dripping wet, but you do want it wet enough so you can get a good grip on it when you're shearing the top. When I'm cutting the top, I like to work in 3 different sections. I'll start in the middle, get my initial guideline, work back, and then I'll work one side of the head and then the other. You'll see here that when you're trimming the sides, your guideline will be closer to your knuckle. It'll be the shortest length out of the whole section you just grabbed. So you just gotta make the rest of the section equivalent to that length. So adding texture is extremely important with your styled cuts. It's just going to give you a more natural look to it. So one of the techniques I like to use is point cutting. So when you pull out your shear, you're going to close it slowly so you don't just take big chunks out, but you're just going to hit the tip so you can have a more choppy look to help for the texture top. So for the sides, we're going to blend in with our thinning shears. We're going to hold our comb out at a 45-degree angle and just feather the tips. Some people like to dig in and take out chunks, but I'd rather take out less and be able to take out more afterwards, because if you dig in and you take out too much, you're kind of screwed. So always take off less than more. So here I'm just getting picky and seeing the one little dark spot. So I'll even go in with just the tip of my shear and just pick out those dark spots. So this is another technique I like to use to add texture. It's called carving. You're gonna slide across the scalp and don't close your shear all the way, just close it halfway. So now we're gonna do the lineup. When doing the lineup, you wanna keep things as natural as you can, but you also wanna make it sharp. So don't be afraid to go in a little bit, but don't push it too far. So when I'm doing my arches, I like to make myself a first little guideline to know where I'm gonna end up at. Then I'll start out down by the beard and make ourselves a nice little C. And when you step back, you'll be able to see a number 3, because you'll have a straight front edge, and then that arch is gonna make it look like a big number 3. So the same way we have detailing our fade, we have detailing our shape up. And by detailing our shape up is meaning using the razor. When you're using the razor, you're going to want to stretch the skin and get it as tight as you possibly can, just so you can avoid from cutting the client. Now we're gonna do the blow dry. This is my favorite part just because you see the whole haircut come together. So when I do my textured tops, I like to blow dry everything backwards first, and then I'll start to blow dry it more towards the middle, just so you can give it volume. And then when you add your product is when you'll be able to give it the more textured look. Okay, so the product I'm going to be using today is 80H Dry. To me, this is the best product on the market. It's a matte finish, so it looks more natural, but it still has a good enough hold to get you through the day. But you can also run your fingers through it, and it feels natural and like your normal hair with no product. But when you're applying it, you should always use your fingertips so you're not just putting in big globs in places you don't want. And that's how I do my low skin fade with a textured top. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. I will be posting a new video every Monday, so stay tuned. Peace.